All right. Good morning. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Saturday morning. It's beautiful here on the East Coast. I'm sure it is on the West Coast as well. I don't know what's going on with y'all in the middle, but yeah, we have a illustrious guest today. We have Miss Red
Mm.
Infamy here,
Hey,
gracing us with her presence. Why don't you guys?
hey.
Yeah, go ahead and tell everybody hello.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? It's a pleasure to finally be on here with y'all.
Yeah, hello.
Uh,
Kindly.
I miss y'all too from uh at E3 for real. I miss y'all a lot. That was like the highlight of my entire E3 was
Right.
hanging out with y'all.
Yeah, it was
But
fun.
yeah, I'm happy to be here, talk some topics and stuff.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming in. We'll have like a little interview with Red, but let's go ahead and introduce the rest of the panel and let's talk about what we've been playing. I'm gonna start with you, Delilah.
Yes, you already know what I'm playing. Destiny all day. Destiny and
Okay.
Grounded. So yeah, I mean, just keep it short and sweet.
All right. Have you gotten like how's your first base on Grounded?
But still, I made like a little what you call it? What you call it? The with the round
A
canopy looking
gazebo?
thing. Gazebo. Oh my God! Thank you so much.
You're struggling over there.
Yo, I was. You know how you got a
It's
picture in your
either a
head and you
cabana or
right,
Yeah.
gazebo.
right. Thank you.
Right.
Like you know, how you got the picture in your head, and you can't figure it out. Like it's just the words ain't coming. Yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, because I made like a double gazebo looking thing, and so I'm still trying to figure that whole thing out. Um,
Have you fought any spiders?
yeah, man, them just dude, they scary, fam. I had to turn the audio off because the sound they make at night
That
is
growling.
yes.
How
Oh
do
my
you know
God.
that they're like then you just walk right up on one if you don't have a sound,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I'm like I'm and now my fascination with like the building at part is over. Like I'm more so going back to okay, why do I gotta drink? I don't feel like finding anything to drink. Why I gotta eat? I don't feel like finding anything to eat. So it's just like my
Yeah.
creative juices have kind of ran its course. So now I'm ready for an update. I'm like, where y'all at?
Yeah.
Um, but I'm still having fun. I mean, it's still cool. It's just like I'm ready for the next thing. So I'm hoping that we'll hear some more information about like I know they announced already that they're doing the monthly updates, so hopefully we'll see something soon. But yeah, and then Destiny, I'm stuck at like 1062 trying to grind it out. But I did finish the season, so I got level 100 in the
Okay.
season. So I'm happy about that because I've never completed the entire season that way.
Yeah.
But my gear is still low. Like that's the part that's just blowing my
They're about
mind.
to come out with that what is it called? The I can't remember. It's like the season of whatever. It's like the thing they do at the end of the season so that everybody who's
Hopefully,
not max has a chance to get to
Yeah.
max.
it it comes out next week where you get the ornaments and stuff
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
that light
Bet.
up.
Well, that's cool because like yeah, I'm a little bit frustrated with that as well. So
Yeah, that's what I said. I'll do that to try to get, max gear. And it's funny because you always just throw that shit away when the
mhm.
next season starts. Because it's
Facts.
basically obsolete. But all right. Well, Charisse, what you been playing?
Basically, the same thing. Delilah has Grounded and Destiny and Mario Kart, but I have not. I'm still into Grounded. I like the exploring part of it. Like I found a ant head graveyard. Um,
What?
I
Yep.
found another lab, but you can't get into it yet.
Okay.
I've found it's like up in a tree somewhere. I found like 4 research stations. Um, it's like it's very good. I enjoy Grounded very much. The building like I don't do like I have a partner. He doesn't like for me to name him on the thing. But
Oh,
if
is
y'all
that
look at the
right?
Girl,
pictures,
Is
yeah,
ooh,
that
believe it or
right?
not.
Ooh.
we know
Anyway,
who.
I ain't talking to y'all. Red, don't pay no attention to them. Pay no attention to them whatsoever. But me and him play. We have a world together, and we have a house. Basically, this man has built a house for me in this game. Um,
Right.
yeah,
Wow.
it's it's
No
like three
I
comments.
so
stories.
want to name drop right now. Oh my god,
Right? No comments.
I'm not gonna do that
We
to
got
you.
a
Don't do
basement.
that. Don't,
We have
Nah,
two
I'm not.
floors. We have a dew catcher. We have a place like I go collect the supplies and everything. Like this is my job. We have our and I let him build whatever he wants, long as it has the stuff that I need in it. And I go collect
Oh,
supplies for
build
it.
whatever you want as long as it's what I want.
That's what it
Basically.
sounds like. That's what it
Basically,
sound like.
again, that's how any
Real
relationship
man
with me
stuff.
works out.
Oh
So
my
if anybody, hey, you have to give me what I want before I even look at what you want.
I'm
So
about to join her game.
I know.
Right?
The Duke,
You
because I
really
know the
need
Duke catcher
to.
is
Red,
calm though.
Red, you really
He
need to
knows
talk to
a
Charisse
lot.
about that because she really.
Mhm.
but so we've been killing ladybugs. We've been killing like we don't do the wolf. This wolf spider still scared the crap out of me. I
That one
can't
is
do
big.
that.
like
That's the
real
biggest
life.
one so far. Sorry, Red.
Yeah, no, it really is. I hate that growling. That's what gets me.
Oh man, yeah.
The growling.
It
We
makes my
have
skin crawl.
found the spot for our second and third base. Now when I log back in,
So
I have to
no, the
start
first
moving
base I know
stuff
helped
over.
y'all with that one. So the one around the juice box. Did y'all do something different after that?
We decided that was not a good location because it wasn't giving us enough
Oh yeah.
water.
Oh, it definitely wasn't. It was terrible.
So believe it or not, our very first base is actually by the baseball. We built around it, like our workshop is down at the bottom part of it. Then we built up. We have a deck. He wants to put a basketball court on it, and I'm like, dude,
God.
you're so black. He's building a fence up. We have like 2 floors going up to the top of the actual baseball. Like you literally don't even have to walk on that stick anymore to get to the baseball. We literally have stairs and a house. We have a roof. Like we have like literally. The thing is, like, I almost want to live there if we
How
could
many
live in
days
game.
have y'all put into it? That was just my question.
I've probably put maybe about 10, maybe 15 hours
Like
into
game
it.
days, right? Like 10
Oh, game days. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
game
I
days.
don't know. We put a lot because we don't do a
Okay.
lot of exploring at night
Oh yeah, I
because
sleep clean through the night. Bump
Yo, he
yeah.
is so scared as soon as nighttime hits. I was
He
like,
goes to sleep.
yes.
Like,
He was
I'm
like,
same.
it's
I'm the
time.
same way. I'm not
He's like,
messing
it's
around.
time. It's time.
It's-
Come on, y'all. It's time.
yeah,
I'm like,
I
you don't
legit think
chill
he's
out.
afraid of spiders. I think that's what it is. I think
Yeah.
he's legit afraid of
He
spiders.
uses the scale to turn off the legs or whatever.
Yeah,
The
yeah, he has,
arachnophobia.
and he still doesn't mess with him. He doesn't like to go. He doesn't like to go underground. So when Boogie played with us, that was like the first time we went. So now he's more comfortable with going. But he's always prepared. We have like 40 arrows with us at all times. We have level 2 axe, level 2 hammer. Like we are all
But you
armored
know
up.
it's an issue when the game has an arachnophobia setting.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, people, and it's real because I'm dealing with
Yeah,
it, but I don't want
right.
to. I don't want to just take myself out of the game. I feel like it hurts the immersion a little bit, so that's why I
Right.
keep it on. But I
Yeah,
I
keep
make
it
sure
on
that
too.
at night I sleep clean through the night. I don't even mess
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, you should have been there the night when we woke up the next day and the spider was like at our door.
And
Like
they
it
go-
was.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he
I
didn't.
feel so
He
silly.
was freaking out. It was funny. Like
What's
we
crazy
had to
about
kill
that
the spider from the
game?
window.
But Charisse, what's crazy about that game is I feel so silly because it's like the art style is like a kitty, and I'm like, why am I
Yeah,
scared of these little play spiders? Like it's so.
And they don't look play.
no, they
No.
really don't. Like
That's the only thing in
that's
the
my
game
theory.
that doesn't.
I have a theory what grounded is. Like this is the story. I think it's aliens have kidnapped these children and have taken them off on a planet and are doing a test run on them. That's my theory on grounded because again, there is a skeleton. You'll find it in one of the little things. There's a kid skeleton in the ant graveyard, and it's like mutations also. But that's just my theory. My theory.
That make me want to play the game more, like, because
Yeah,
I'm not playing.
you just need a group. That's all.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Once you get past that initial hour, then you're like,
Mhm.
okay, it's deeper than just, getting food and getting drink. And then I got really heavy into the building. Like I said, I'm a creative, so I love making things. And so I just the only thing I want to do. I didn't want to worry about food. I didn't want to worry about drinking. I didn't want to have to get a dew catcher. I just want to build stuff. Like, and so
Yeah, see, right now we're past that. We have all that. Like we have the dew catcher, we have the little. So even though we have the dew catcher, we also
Wow.
have a bucket to put the water so it can continue to catch dew. Like
Yeah.
we have a fully stocked house.
They
It's
do.
y'all got a
crazy.
farm yet? Because I know you can do like the mushroom, or you can grow your own mushrooms.
We're building a jerky. It's probably already there when I log back in. But we're building a jerky thing and a mushroom garden in this little area by the workshop.
Yeah.
Yo.
I mean, this game could just go on forever. We're gonna have to keep moving because we done talked about grounded for like
Oh my bad,
Right.
sorry.
We ain't even
A
got
minute,
to
but,
other
you know.
people intros, man. I'm like,
like we still doing intros. Like,
Charisse.
all right,
My bad.
Yeah. Lady,
okay.
what you been saying?
I was not playing Destiny, and I was not playing Grounded. So I'm gonna get that out the way right now. You ain't playing none of them too. All right. I played like on PlayStation. I played Ghost of Tsushima. Finished Act 1 yesterday. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I feel like some man. You told me that on stream about that dude set me up. Man, I'm like, no. I was like, no.
I mean, man. But if you ever listen to the conversations they were having, you could tell there was some animosity there. Like he was like, you didn't have to do me like that in the thing, yeah,
over there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like you didn't have to do me like that. You could tell that he had animosity, but I never thought that he was going to do that. Like I still
wait. Are y'all possibly spoiling this?
No, because we talking about that dude.
Game up the day.
Like talking about that dude. You talking about that dude? That what he did.
That dude, what he did, what he had done
over there. Right.
Over there.
Oh boy, over there. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you. Yeah. So anybody, you can't trust nobody up in this game. Fall Guys,
you gotta pay attention to the conversations, right? Like I'm noticing that everybody has something to say about his ghost mentality, that he's doing whatever he needs to do to take his country back.
But he gonna fail to realize that people ain't gonna have everybody that ain't gonna have that good intentions like you have. So
I'm even starting to feel suspect about the uncle, the one he played.
Wow. Yeah, I got to, because my husband, like, this was his birthday gift. Actually, I got him this game, and I haven't touched it yet. It's he hasn't touched. He's been only like the first little
anticipated game.
Man, that game is so good. I know you playing it, Red. You follow foxes and birds and cutting bamboo sticks and making sure your samurai outfit is on point. I'm loving it.
Wait! You get to change your clothes? Y'all
yeah. There's a bunch of different outfits.
Stuff.
Oh, y'all know I like to look good in games now.
Like flowers.
You can look really good. You can look really good in this game.
Oh wow! Okay, I ain't gonna say that.
This game that came out for free on PlayStation called Fall Guys. Oh my god!
Is it fun?
Yeah, it's real fun. It's a battle royale game.
Oh, I'm gonna have to download it.
Is it? Because what I've seen is just everybody running forward and like you have to try to stay on the platform. Is that?
It's like 2 points. It's like 2 points. Like it's the starting point, and then you have the finish line, and you're gonna have these obstacles, like basic obstacles, like seesaws and slippy slides and closing doors and stuff like that. And you got like 59 people trying to go to the finish line, and you go through a few rounds. And I can't get past the second round. Is
this the one that I saw on TV? This sounds like Roblox, right? Like some of the games you find in Roblox and stuff where you gotta like. So they start you on a platform, and then you gotta run on the squares. And if you're not on the highlighted square, then it drops.
It's something like one of the modes is like that. Okay. There's like other modes too, where you gotta get the eggs and hurry up before the other team gets the most eggs inside. Like, it was fun. I played it at PAX East, this last freaking biggest event of the entire year. Hopefully just the year. But I didn't get a chance to play. I got to download it on PlayStation so we could play and stuff. But
it's free. It's free. I'm telling you, get it. It's free. It's free.
Wait. Are they still having issues with the servers? Because apparently everybody downloaded it and was playing it at the same time.
Oh, I don't know, they couldn't handle the players that was actually coming to the game. So yeah, them servers crashed a little bit, but I still suggest you get it because it's free. And hey, you can play it. It's a good party game for your friends as well. RimWorld on PC. Look, 109 hours. I done got the people off the planet. I'm so happy.
So now, you know what? There you go. You get a hand clap, lady.
Right? Like, what do you do now, though? Like, is that it?
That's game over with. That's it. Game over with.
So you start over?
You can add mods. You can get story mods. I was thinking about putting a Star Wars mod in the game / multiplayer. So that'll be pretty cool. I got Mario Kart Deluxe 8 last week. So I've been on it. I don't know why that game is fun, but I'm enjoying it.
Mario Kart has always been fun, girl.
But I ain't played Mario Kart in a minute. And the only reason why I got it because it was on sale. It was like $45. I was like, you gotta get it.
Yeah, so Nintendo,
Nintendo ain't got no sales like that.
Hell no. I caught that one Nintendo sale. I was like, what?
Yes.
At
So
GameStop.
you gonna be mad. I'm like, you gonna be mad if you don't get this game. So I got the game. I played it for a little bit, and I'm having fun. Actually, I'm gonna plan to do like a race night with people who's down to race. I already got CHAREECE up in there. So yeah, it's been a variety of things for me that I played this week.
Cool. All right, Red, what have you been playing this week? You been playing anything?
Well, Swim Sanity just came out. If y'all don't know, Swim Sanity is made by 2 Black developers. They won tons of awards for it. And basically it's like a underwater Smash Brothers, but like you have these ray guns pretty much. But there's actually a story mode. And I interviewed them a while ago, but I posted it up again yesterday. But their game came out yesterday. It's really, really fun. It's a 4-player game. You can also do like the battle modes. So was playing that. Call of Duty, I finally got to 100 before the season.
Really? Oh man.
I never got to 100 because I was just busy playing other stuff. Yo, it was a struggle. Like, because certain modes, I started to figure out how certain modes you can gain more XP.
Oh, okay.
So I was doing this.
Really, girl? Really?
Right?
What game
What
mode?
old is it?
What game modes?
Yeah.
Ground War. I gained a lot of XP in Ground War alone because each kill is like 200 points, and I think it's 250 points also when you do headshots.
See, they doing that because don't nobody play that shit.
So and then also doing a co-op. When you do the co-op, you get tons of XP in co-op. So yeah, you'll get like 1400 XP off the first little wave right away. And then there's also you can do your weekly and dailies with co-op, so you could like triple or double that. So yeah, Ground War is one of them. There's one map that's like a narrow map that I get a lot of points in. That's why I love that map. Forgot the name of it, but you get a lot of points on there because as soon as you help capture those flags, you get in a lot of XP too. So, because I die a lot in the other Ground Wars because I don't play it that much. But when you set up a little class for it, you'll be on point. So, because I play mostly hardcore. So, because I play hardcore, it's a little more difficult for me to go into Ground War since that's core. What else? Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is late. I got a chance to finally play that because I had to not play it right away because I wanted to do that's the gift and the curse of streaming, is because you want to do things to share your moments with your audience, but it's like, damn, I want to have time for myself too to play the game.
Right.
So yeah, I had to
talking to people and
yes. So I only stream the first 2 hours on stream. The rest of it is gonna be intimately with me.
All right.
But what else I had got to play too. Oh, and I just been trying to trim down my backlog. Like I never got a chance to finish Spiderman, so I was playing that. Also went back to play Quantum Break. So that's the games that I'm playing so far.
Awesome. All right, for me, I'm gonna do mine short and sweet. Been Call of Duty, Destiny, and Grounded. We've already talked about them, so we're gonna keep it moving. All right, so let's see. We've done our intros. We talked about what we've been playing. So now it's time to do our interview questions with RedInfamy. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So, we basically have, the basic questions that most people have. So tell the people what exactly it is you do and what made you want to get into the gaming world, especially as a woman of color.
Sure. So, I've been gaming since I was a little girl, watching my father play and watching my mom wanted to play the games too, and playing with me is what actually got me into gaming at a very young age. And, as a little girl, you want to do what your father does. So that's how I got into basketball. That's how I got into even being a fan of sneakers and sports and stuff. So So that's what got me into gaming. What kept me into gaming was just the fascination of, these different games and how fun they were, just to play alone instead of like always have to play with cousins, because I didn't have any siblings at the time, or going over my god sister's house. It's just I can have this one moment that I can have fun, in solitude. So that stuck with me all the way up into being an adult, compared to like other females that I've known growing up, as I mostly had male cousins, but the little girls that were cousins of mine were older than me, so couldn't really relate to them that much. And that's what got me stuck on gaming alone. To fast forward on how I became industry wise was, I used to read some of the magazines my father had, like the EGMs and the Game Pros and stuff like that, and I would see certain events and I was like, wow, these events is really cool. From high school, still was playing video games. I didn't had a little brother by that time, so that was something that always made like us connect even more, was gaming and discussing games. So all the way into college, I played games where I had to chill because I was like, I want to graduate. So World of Warcraft was out during that time. I was like, nah, I'm not playing this.
Right.
I already know.
Look your life away.
It would have Elder Scrolls. I was like, I'm not playing this. So I kind of kept it short and sweet on certain things. I mostly got more into sports games during my college years. And in college, they used to call me 50 because I'm from Queens. And so I used to compete against people. But the funny thing is, my friend would be like, yeah, so I got this friend named 50. They want to battle you in Madden or 2K. And the guys would be like, yeah, sure. But they didn't know I was a woman. So they used to come in and they thought I was one of my homeboys' girlfriends or something, just sitting there. But nah, they was like, so the dudes would be like, okay, so where's 50 at? You know what I'm saying? He's like, right there. So it would be so funny because these guys would be sweating bullets, like literally, because they didn't want to lose. But yeah, in college, I was mostly either competing with people or Halo 2 was one of the games I used to play a lot. Like me and a good friend of mine, she's like a sister, Terry, we used to compete against like these little nerdy white dudes in Halo 2 at our college. So gaming always stuck with me. Like after college, I got more into like who was behind these video games that I love so much. And that's when I kind of wanted to dive more into the industry and find out more about it. And I went to school for marketing communication. So I wanted to do something in public relations with gaming. And at that time, graduating, it was more so, that was like during a recession. So it was hard to get a job in what I wanted to. So hip hop gamer, which I met like 2 years after graduating from college. He was saying, just make your own opportunity out of it. So that's when I started to do my own press releases for companies and including them. And that's how I got into the profession that way in some sort. But I would just stay in the forums because social media wasn't that popping during that time. Right. Twitter just came out, but I just would stay in the forums of certain things. I remember the Tester was coming out during that year, and I wanted to be on that show, PlayStation's own reality show. And I didn't try out for it, but I did stick in the forums, and I met so many people that's still in the industry now. That's how I met Malik Forte, Treasy, Javen, who used to make content as well. And that's how I kind of got a foot into that. Wow, you can actually create your own stuff and don't have to rely on someone actually hiring you for it. So as I see more people, especially people of color, especially Black people, creating their own narratives and gaming without getting a yes from somebody to validate their worth, I was like, oh, this is cool. I want to do this. So that's how I like stuck with gaming and also made it into a profession too.
Awesome. All right. So out of those games that you came up playing, what are probably your top 5 games, and they don't have to be,
Say those.
individual games. They could be like
Oh,
series, so yeah.
It's tough.
It's real tough. 5
Right.
games, like my
Well,
whole
games
life?
are series of games, so
Okay, series of games. Okay, so the series of games of my whole life, or just okay?
Yeah.
Hold on,
Top
let me
5, like, go to.
top 5, top 5. I'm trying to. I mean, if I go with Sega, Sonic, like for
Mhm.
sure. Sonic is one of those games. Damn. um, hold on, Sonic series. I love Civilization.
Mhm.
Um,
Wow.
so Civilization is one of those series too. God
And have
damn
you
it.
played the new one?
I played it for a short period of time. I'm scared to get it because I OD in Civilization. So
Yeah, yeah. For a while,
I
too. No,
haven't
I was
though.
like, yeah.
I seen that. So yeah, Civilization. On PlayStation, one of my favorite games on PlayStation. Damn it. Shit. It's between Jack and Daxter or Tomba. Tomba was a really fun game, but I would say the Jack and Dexter series for sure. Damn,
Right.
damn it. I only got 2 left.
Yeah, right.
Damn. Yeah. I love Mass Effect. I
Oh,
love
yes.
Mass Effect.
Yes.
Mass Effect to me has really inspired a lot with gaming, especially with narratives and choosing stuff. Mass Effect 2 is my favorite game of all time. One of, I should say. God damn, why y'all do
Yeah, you
it?
got one left.
Damn. I love Borderlands, but this last Borderlands, I wasn't feeling like that.
I'm telling you, I wasn't.
I mean,
I'm not
Mass
the only one.
Effect. The last Mass Effect was like round.
Yeah,
That
same with the
Borderlands
last
3 was
Mass
not
Effect.
that Borderlands 3 wasn't popping for me, man, at all.
Nah, that story was mad cheesy and corny. The gameplay still rocks, but I'm like, word, it was just real corny. But damn,
Maybe you're
I
grown
was-
now.
I was saying, I seen all the little like political little stupidness and
Right.
feminist stuff they tried to do, and I was like, this is real corny. It's not coming off right.
That's it, right?
No, Borderlands.
Okay,
I'm
you had
taking that
Sonic.
last
Okay,
one.
you had Sonic. You had
I ain't got no fighting games up in there. Love me some
yeah,
fighting
you had
games.
was it Dak and Dexter? Who was the name
Yeah,
of that
Jack and, I know shit. Jack and Dexter.
one? Dak and Dexter.
She
I'm
forgot
sorry.
about Jack and Dexter.
And you had Civilization, and
Mhm.
then you have what? You had
Damn.
Mass Effect, and then you had this last one.
I'm not giving that to Borderlands because they
Okay, so you're not giving it to Borderlands. All right, so now you still got one.
I'm gonna have to say Uncharted series. And the reason why for Uncharted series is that franchise from each game has improved, and really changed the industry. With having, especially Amy Hennig is like one of my favorite writers and directors in gaming, and she made sure that her voice actors acted out every scene, and like they're doing the mocap, the everything. So I would really have to give it off to Uncharted. I love the gameplay. I love the light humor that's in there as well. Kind of course, being inspired by Indiana Jones.
Right.
And the little messages they have in there too in Tomb Raider. So yeah, I would say Uncharted, because the Tomb Raider now is inspired by Uncharted now.
Right.
Well, I would say the Uncharted series. Why I didn't give no honorable mention to be Mortal Kombat. I love Mortal Kombat as a fighting. It's one of my favorite fighting games of all time.
She don't like game 8, fam.
What happened?
I said you don't like game 8,
right? Yeah.
She said she could name
top
5.
10. That's what we
Top
get.
10. Top 10. We got top 10. Okay. All right.
Okay. But yeah, I will leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? I will leave it at that. For now, I know I'm leaving out something, but yeah, that'll be it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Uncharted series. I have a different opinion because I grew up with Tomb Raider, so I feel like Tomb Raider is still the gold standard. But I do like Uncharted.
No, that's the only thing that upset me and my homegirls was the controls with Tomb Raider.
The new one,
the
newer
ones.
ones.
No, back
analog stick. Oh my god, yes.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
You going forward, homegirl going to the left. Like
right.
I wanted to jump, so that was my only gripe. But yeah, of course, Tomb Raider, of course, paved the way for Uncharted and for Uncharted to do what it needed to do and not be a hard carbon copy. Was able to inspire the new Tomb Raider games and how they are. So I love that. I love when games do that.
Quick question for you, Red. So did you play the Lost Legacy from the Tomb Raider?
Not yet.
Okay,
nope.
okay.
That's on my See, if y'all don't know, I'm the queen of backlog. So
We are.
At least you go back, though. Like you do a pretty good job of going back. I'm like, all right, well, that's after the ashes and all that,
But yeah, I gotta play Lost Legacy for sure. That's definitely on my list to play this month.
All right, cool. Are there any other interview questions you guys want to give? Those are pretty much the ones I like to do.
Yeah, she did a good job of going through history, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I have a question. Okay, Red, you got. If everybody don't know, she's an Alienware partner. Shout outs.
Shouts out to the Alienware fam.
Okay, so my question is, as a woman of color and a content creator, how was the path to getting sponsorships goes for your particular journey?
Sure. So being in the industry as a journalist, I was able to, get invited to different tech showcases. And one of them was Alienware. This was actually years ago. I think like 4 or 5 years ago, actually. And when I got a chance to finally go to the Alienware had a tech show out here where they would invite the press, show off their latest and greatest, and you get to speak to the people that's a part of that. And when I went there, I just went around, make sure I introduce myself or say hello and see what anyone is presenting. And I got a chance to talk to some of the main people in marketing and sat down, have a conversation with them. And that's when I was building Geek Game Tight, because a lot of people didn't know that Geek Game Tight was mine. And I kind of did that on purpose. But I was just telling them, my future and what I want to do with Geek Game Tight. I want it to be a whole safe haven for Blacks and Hispanics to showcase, and that we do exist in this realm of geekdom as creators, as authors, as artists, characters, voice actors, you name it. We always put the cool factor to anything in any industry. So I wanted to show that, and I was just telling that person my goals and what I want to see for the industry, and that's how we actually formed a really great friendship. So because I get this question a lot since I've gotten the partnership, and it took years. Like, it wasn't something like this is five years later, you know what I'm saying? And I would say, like, patience and just working towards it. If you think that it's taken so long, what you think you need to do next in order to kind of make that faster, if that's in your line. It wasn't something that I was like, I want to be an Alienware partner. It's something that happened, and the cards just fell in place. But if let's say you're a content creator and that's something you're aiming towards, I always say network. Right now it's a catch-22 in networking right now, because things can be a little bit not as face-to-face.
Yeah.
It's a different energy when you're actually around someone. Of course, like, I've known y'all for a very long time, but I didn't get a chance to meet y'all until like 2-3 years later type of situations. And then when we met, it was totally different because the energy's different. So it's a gift and a curse now, but now more companies are open to digital meetings on stuff. So whether it's LinkedIn, of course, there's a whole signal boost for representing and hearing the voices of Black people and hearing the voices of Black women in this industry. So take advantage of that, for sure. Take advantage of it. And like I did on Twitter like last month or so, I wanted to meet as much women as I can via off of just a post, like, you know, who are some women that's in Black women that's in esports or and gaming alone. And I was inspired to do that off of Cuddlecore, who's a pro player for Tekken. She's a Black pro athlete in Tekken, and she was saying how it's just unfortunate how a lot of Black women in esports don't really get heard of at all, or spoken to or spoken about. So that's what I would say on how I got my partnership is through networking, putting myself out there, keeping that relationship as well. Besides just covering stuff for Alienware, but keeping a relationship with the people, seeing what they doing, what they working on, seeing how personal things is dealing with them too. Everything doesn't always have to be business, but if you formed a friendship or some type of association with that person, just keep it up. And that's basically how I did it as well. But there was some type of call to action, which was to see the opportunities that they have and how can I be a part of it. So there was still a call to action. It wasn't just like, boom, here you go. So do that as well too. If you feel that you are worthy, then if you feel that, that means you are. So just go ahead with that motion, network with the people, see who's in charge of community management, go an extra step for research. LinkedIn, people sleep on LinkedIn. I got so many opportunities off of LinkedIn alone, and see, research all those names and things are there compared to back in the days. People had to go up to the building. You know, no one's flying out to go out to these places if you're not on the West Coast or you're not in certain regions. So you have LinkedIn now. Use LinkedIn. If you feel you have a relationship with people who have those partnerships already and want to ask, because I've had people who've asked me, try and do that. Just make sure it's not weird. It's like, because I had some people out of nowhere was like, well, how you get that? And can you tell me? We don't even talk. So like, can you?
I think it's hard for people though, because I know that like even for me, it's hard, you know, to network because I am like socially awkward. Like I usually come with like I'm just blurting out some shit because I'm just working up the courage to say something, you know?
I had to like I had said that yesterday and some other day. I'm a shy person. People don't believe that. I grew up as a very shy little girl. And you know, my mom didn't want me to think that was, she's seen that and she didn't want that to be a weakness with me. So she would do certain things. But I had to break that shell. And that was me going to college to a state that I have no family in and then have no friends in whatsoever. And I had to live on my own, do everything on my own, speak up for myself. My mother wasn't there. So there's little things sometimes we all have to do, even as grown people, to kind of break out of that shell. Like you doing podcasts, you going out to events. That's one thing. It still gets weird for me still to take that first step and be like, hi, my name is Mika, such and such, aka RedInfamy. You know, I don't have, it's still a barrier. But then when I just sit, I'm a person that observes. So I'll sit there and I'll observe for a minute and then I'll strategize. Okay, that's when I could come in and say something.
Yeah.
Because it's still awkward.
That's so true. I still deal with that, and even with where I work, it's just like you have to keep those relationships solid. Like, you know, was the tip I was given a couple years ago was you know, check in with your professional contacts once a month. Like if you got like 5 solid people that you know are in the industry, doing something that you want to do, it's great to just kind of check in with them. And also just have a mentor, someone that's doing the exact job that you want to have one day. And so yeah, and that's helped to me, you know, as far as like move forward in my career. So
and that's why I brought that up, because I know that there's people listening that are just like, you know, like how do you do that, you know? Like
It's hard though. It's
How do
not
you-
easy.
It's hard. It's not easy. Even me to this day, I've built up like a charisma of some sort. I don't know from just I'm still a goofy person. I love to laugh, or there's been certain things that has actually been an icebreaker where I didn't even really have to say too much. So, and those icebreakers would be either the sneakers that I wear or the gaming, because I always still would kind of mix up gaming attire into my wardrobe of some sort. So those little things of what I'm proud of already, that's a part of me, has always been an icebreaker. So even from when like I had this Street Fighter book bag, I would get stopped all the time just because I'm a Black woman with a Street Fighter book bag, and would ask me like, are you in gaming or all kind of stuff, like it's so because I've heard like from the past a lot of women would be apprehensive of showing that they're a gamer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that was around other women.
Oh yeah.
That's so true. Like we mentioned on this cast before that like my sisters don't play. I'm the only one in my family that plays. It's almost like as if it's taboo in my family to even be interested in gaming or let alone the industry. I invite them to listen to this podcast several times. They're like, "Well, we're not into gaming," you know what I mean? So it's like it's just weird to
yeah, I mean,
that.
I could say, sorry, Delilah. Even last week, right? Like, so my family, I'm in Virginia now. Most of my family's in California, and some of my family went to meet up, at my mom's house, and they called me, and one of my uncles yells out, "She probably playing them games." Like, come on, dude. So I had to hit back with, "Is that a problem? Like, is that a problem for you? Like, what is me playing games doing to you? Like, I don't get that." Yeah. So I think we all get a little bit of it. But
I mean, I get it too.
Yeah, no one says anything to people that like binge watch Netflix. Like, I mean, you sitting there watching 6 hours of the same show, but you're gonna ridicule me for playing a game for 2 hours. Like, really? Like, come on. So
yeah, I still get that to this day. Even like from like I always had to. It's like a thing with my mother and I. Like she's proud of me, of course, but I'm like, Ma, do you know? Like, okay, it's not like I'm just playing games just to sit down and play games. Like I actually made a career out of it, and there's things that I made a career out of it, but it goes beyond just gaming. Like I'm in media, period, so, and I'm doing something that's entrepreneurship with it as well. I don't want to work for nobody, and especially as a Black woman or even as a Black man, it's very important to even instill in our children or young brothers and sisters or whatever that to have your own and make your own. Like your main goal should be to have something of yours, even if let's say you still wanted to have a profession, a 9-to-5, whatever the case may be, you should still have something of your own, because just in case you got something that is yours, you own it, it's an asset, and you can move it on to the next generation for your family.
Hallelujah.
So yeah, there's so many different things that our heritage and our people will look down upon, and I'm like, well, that's people's meal tickets right now on certain stuff. You got kids making millions of dollars just because they shot a gun in Fortnite and got a certain amount of kills. It's not even like going against a team. They got a certain amount of kills. Or this kid that's playing 2K is damn near making more. Well, not damn near, is making more than WNBA players that's physically out there bouncing the ball. Like, and
just coding in general, right?
Yeah,
like
coding,
I think
exactly. Computer
like
science.
We could really advance ourselves right now.
Really
in the world,
STEM period, like having children code, that's the next language. That's computers. That's being a scientist. Like that's going back to our roots on where we came from as that historically. So there's a lot of things that people need to be informed of, and there's a lot of money in gaming no matter what. I don't care if you make soap.
I actually just saw a Black-owned company making soap. So yeah.
Oh, there's a market for anything. Gaming industry is a multi-billion dollar, about to be trillion. It's the highest industry in entertainment, yet the youngest industry in entertainment. So there's money to be made. There's real estate out there to capture in gaming. And so why not would I take advantage of something that I love?
Yeah. I know,
Yeah, I
I know.
agree.
Just like, we watch several different like streamers, and I've even witnessed like people on Twitter saying things about supporting each other and things like that. Have you ever dealt with that sort of thing, like people not supporting each other, or like kind of crabs in a bucket? People don't want to help out and don't want to, retweet someone's channels and stuff like that. How do you get around that? How do you
Yeah.
bridge that gap?
I was speaking to my friend, shouts out to Uriah, who's also a Black content creator, and he's a journalist as well. I was speaking to him about it, and it wasn't nothing negative he had to say, but it was like a sort of pushback. For example, that's my main, I go on Twitch sometimes. I don't even be on playing a game or looking at something. I'll go on Twitch and go on a whole journey trying to find Black content creators and following them. Like, because I want my Twitch that when I turn on Twitch, I see someone that looks like me.
Right.
Because Twitch obviously is not doing a great job at that, period. Somebody had to lose their life for somebody to signal Black Lives Matter. People had to lose their lives over that just for there to be a signal to pay attention to a human being. But y'all wasn't doing that just because of how melanated their skin are. Shit is dumb. So us as a people, I'm tired of hearing all the begging companies. We have to do that call to action of supporting one another, of keeping that industry.
Because how can you ask them to support us when we're not supporting
Support
us?
each other. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How you gonna ask somebody else that obviously didn't care about it, not in their makeup to do so, but we are of each other to do that, and we do it for other people. Right. So how are you not doing it for your own? So yeah, like the discussion that I had with him, I was like, it doesn't matter. Let's say there's tons of people I follow that don't follow me back, and I don't care. You know what I'm saying? As long as I see what they're doing and I love what they're doing, I don't mind following them. I don't mind seeing what they're doing. And did you have a conversation with that person? Because if they don't personally know you, they might not want to follow you. So there's been times when I've jumped in people's streams, established a relationship with them just because I love their content, and we've established an association with each other that can lead to a friendship. So I just want to see my people be the beautiful people that they are, that I know they are, and to showcase them. So that's me following them. That's me sharing their stuff. Even if I was like, it's something simple. Even if you share their stuff, even if you mention them, even if you sit there for 10 minutes, even if you hit the like button, you make a comment, even if you hit the subscribe, you know damn well you got Amazon Prime. You know what I'm saying? So, take turns on who you want to share with. I'll take turns each month on who I want to share the Twitch Prime thing that I have. Or if you want to send the extra $5, if you want to do that, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing wrong with that, because I know you're about to put 100 and something plus in a white-owned business.
Right.
And it's crazy because people sometimes feel like that they can succeed on their own. You can't succeed. It's hard to succeed on your own. You have to have relationships. The world is built on relationships. So
yes,
I mean, that's just part
you have
of it.
to. You can't do anything on your own, and don't feel like, because you got a lot of people that doesn't matter who they are, get this little entitlement spirit. And like, as people just have the white privilege and the entitlement with white people. No, there's also you got some brothers and sisters out there that get this little entitlement spirit.
Ooh.
And I'm like,
Twitter famous. I like call myself
Yeah.
famous.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, nobody owes you anything, and what are you doing something back to kind of reciprocate that energy? And if you're not, it's like, what are you talking about? So, like I said, the whole thing is being positive, trying to see who you support. If you complain about something and you need to see what you're able to do within your own, like I said, growing your own little village as well, and not trying to be the gatekeeper or something. I can't stand that.
Say that.
Gatekeeping amongst the Black community is worse than racism.
It's bad.
It's a problem. And colorism.
Yep.
We
Oh my
got
goodness.
a few problems
All
we
of
gotta
it
look at
too.
within ourselves, our own
all
community.
of,
You know,
all of that. I'm like, y'all just fulfilling Willie Lynch. Like y'all just fulfilling what he had in them letters. So
Right.
like,
we
I need to
know
pay
that they said
attention.
that those letters were actually not real, but that a lot of the information that was in there was stuff that was actually happening. So
Yes.
there wasn't this huge meeting where they were passing out this letter and stuff like that, but that a lot of the stuff that was in the letter actually was happening.
Right.
And there was stuff added on.
Right.
And I mean, as a whole, it was something horrible, but it's still being fulfilled to this
Oh, yeah.
day. So
Yeah, I mean,
and
we can do a whole another
Podcast.
hour
Yeah.
on
Yeah. Facts.
racism and the black psyche.
But don't put that in the game, like the gaming, like to just bring it back to gaming. Like we all here to have fun. It's a struggle for us, especially us Black women, in this industry, to be noticed and our talents to be shown and put out there in the forefront. And then the crazy thing is, because they do this with everything, is not making sure everyone get their flowers and making sure that everyone gets their opportunity. They'll either keep picking the same people over and over again. They'll be like, "Oh, these are the Negroes that we go
right. The chosen Negroes.
Sure, that we gonna have all the time." And I'm like, that's not helping anything. Which you want to say you're an ally, but like, but yeah, we just have to make sure we control the narrative and support one another in this community.
Totally agree. And like I said, we probably need to make a special edition.
We sure do.
Podcast so that we can actually like crack into some of this stuff. But for today, let's get into some of these topics. But if you down, I'm so down. I think we should get a couple of the other women that we know, and really
have a round table.
Oh, that's perfect. A round table.
Right. All right. So this week we had some news, a couple of tidbits here and there. So let's we get into it. So one of the first topics I have is State of Play, which was on August 6th. And I just want to get you guys' opinions. Were there any games that you liked that are coming soon? And highlights, qualms, all that. I'm going to start with Red since she's the guest.
I mean, State of Play, what I appreciate, and like we mentioned even like off, is that these companies is doing something different that we would have really wanted to see the different from if it was actually physically at E3. But I love that showcase showed a lot of gameplay from these games and not just CGI videos. So even with the indies that we got to see, one of them was called is it Pathless? I think Pathless was a game that looked really dope.
That's the one with the archer?
Yes.
I like that one too.
I like that. I love Crash Bandicoot. That was supposed to be on the favorite games list, but I was like, I'm going over with it. I love what I've seen from Crash Bandicoot that's coming out, that you get to play with the different characters. They showed the gameplay, the different art that you're able. So I love that they did a deep dive. They did a lot of deep dives of different games for a short period of time. Another game that was very interesting, because I seen somebody like in the comment section, I don't know if it was mine or someone else, it was like they didn't show no PS5 games. I was like, they actually did. One of those games was Hood. It's called Hood something. And I was like, that was the PS5 game that they showed.
Hood Outlaws and Legends. Yeah, Hood Outlaws and Legends. Yes.
That looked dope. And this is what I think should be an industry, because going into next gen, and Hip Hop Gamer said it, we don't need to see any CGI videos no more. There's no need for CGI videos no more. If you want to do a teaser, like real quick, minute, boom, cute.
Man, see, that's the thing. A lot of people say that all the time. Don't want to see CG. Don't want to see CG. But my thing is, usually when these games are midway through development, they're just, you can't recognize them. They don't even look like a game sometimes. Like they don't. But that's why prototype, and so it's hard for them to just show this is exactly what the game's gonna look like. So usually they take a vertical slice and like, boom, this is the CG. and because we're still working on the game, we don't really know the full direction, that kind of thing. So
But this is what I mean. There's a difference between a CGI video and an in-game renderization of something.
that's true.
So I don't mind an in-game renderization video from assets being used, just as long as it's coming off of the signal of that console. Because
that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Is sometimes they can't even do that.
that's fine, but don't make it like don't make. Not just don't show it. You can get people excited. It's just that I don't need 10 minutes or goddamn like 5 minutes of you. So
you're saying like just show like a snippet, like a 30-second, like.
Or
I don't mind
like how they did Bayonetta 3 with the picture with the name and.
She said not the picture with a name. I don't mind if you do a teaser CGI. What I was about to say is I love what Hood did. They had an in-game renderization video, then it cut into the gameplay. I had loved that. Now I never heard of Hood. I didn't hear nothing about Hood. I didn't hear nothing about the development. I understand the publishers are developers want to show their stuff a certain way. Oh, yeah. It's publishers who push them and push. Okay, but y'all got to get this out. Boom. So it's like okay. But I'm like, if your joint is not looking up to par on what people expect, because you got to understand the industry understands certain things. Just like how he was like, but Ray, they got to show something because, when you start out a game, it looked like, sticks and stones. And, they got to show. Yep. I understand that. But the industry, the gaming, the consumers don't understand that.
Right.
So when the consumer sees something, especially nowadays because of the information age, and things are being leaked here and there, and it's like, oh, but that game is going to suck because it looked like that. I'm like, okay. And then people are getting more information on how long these games have been in development. Back in the past, a lot of times you wouldn't even know.
Right.
So now people have more information, so they have more expectations out of these companies. So when you don't deliver in a certain way, it's like, well, why I didn't have gameplay?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Isn't it kind of like a double-edged sword? Because like,
I'm just tired of seeing a whole bunch of Final Fantasy CGI stuff, and then by the time the game comes out,
looks nothing like
it looks nothing like it. So now it's like, why in this day and age we don't really need that? Just have something that if you're going to show a video, have it in-game rendering on what the assets that you have now, especially the technology that's coming out soon, because it's going to be easier to develop. That's what I'm saying, because I don't want my joint looking like Final Fantasy 7 CGI they had back in the days, and you get the game, it's like you dead ass. That's all I'm saying. It's like the industry has to shift a little bit, and I had appreciated with what Hood did is they had the in-game renderization, then it had cut to gameplay. I thought that was so dope. So that's
they did the same thing with Assassin's Creed, right?
Yeah, but then you had some situations with Assassin's Creed that's like, okay, well, it don't look like this or like that. Yeah, Valhalla. Yeah. Right. So it's like Boogie was saying, it's like a catch-22. It's like either you show it and you're gonna get some negative reaction because the game is not gonna be fully polished yet. You still because usually the games prior to release, the most polish goes into the last 6 months of development. Like typically, the most polish, your last minute graphical updates. Pretty much the nuts and bolts, all that. The final tuning is in the last few months to release.
But what's messed up is Valhalla is a AAA game. You know what I'm saying? So we know they have a big budget. From Home Interactive is an indie game. How is that game looking better than Valhalla right now?
What's the name engine? Unreal,
yeah,
Unreal make it holler for $1.
Well, I'm gonna need Ubisoft to get it together with something because I was like, how did Assassin's Creed Origins look better than which?
Well, did you watch the 4K version and 4K 60 version?
Yeah, I don't know how much 4K and 8K I need because I was like,
60 is really what I'm talking about. The frames per second.
All that. I looked at all of that and I was like, wait a minute, is it me or did Odyssey and our Origins look better than this game, or is it me? Maybe it's my eyes. I think it's going to
come out looking the exact same as Odyssey.
I didn't see a huge graphical bump. You know what's crazy with me when I look at that game? I didn't expect one. I expected another Assassin's Creed because this game is going to be cross-platform. Like it's
Put some cocoa butter on the graph. Something like shine it up a little bit. Something like I was like, because I didn't expect it to be like, oh my gosh, because I know it's not a next gen game. So everybody needs to understand that. I knew it wasn't gonna look, but damn. Because the reason why I'm saying
you felt like it was that bad though.
You're not going to start to see like true next gen games until mid gen refresh, because
I think it'll be before that.
You're not going to see next gen games for at least 2 years after the release, where you're seeing like, oh my god, this is way better than what we just had.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, for example, NBA 2K21, right? The next gen version of that game is going to look crazy. And the reason why I said that is because of the face scans that I've seen already for the next gen version. The current gen version just has like a little slight tweak, but they improved the frames so that it runs better. That's cute. But as far as what 2K21 is going to look, is going to be a leap. And that's a game that's going to come out on the launch of the systems. So I wouldn't quite say, like, everybody keeps saying that, and I'm like, nah, there's gonna be some talent because it's all about
a sports game though. You compare like to me, I look at sports games like racing games. You compare a sports game to like Valhalla, which is an open world adventure game, to a basketball game that looks the same every time you get on the court.
No, I'm talking about the technology that was used. It's still a face scan regardless.
But I'm saying what I'm getting at is they're able to put more resources into that facial scan technology because they don't have to worry about making other assets for other parts of the game. They don't have to worry about making side quests.
You on a court, like you always.
Right. You don't have to worry about making
No, I understand. Yeah, I understand that. But then that's the same argument on Infinite. So, for example, Master Chief is the only thing that looked good out of everything else because they put more onto the assets on his character versus everything else. That's why I said talent. Talent moves a lot of impossible things, no matter what the scenario is. So that's why I was saying talent is going to be the pure factor when it comes to the first and second year of next gen consoles, because everyone's going to think that the resources is not there and the technology is not there when it is. It's just the talent. Like it's just the talent of the developers, what they're going to be able to do. So that's what I'm saying. I don't like when Ubisoft takes because they have so many AAA and they have a great roster of games that they have, but they start doing copy and paste instead of actually. And I spoke to when I spoke to.
That's kind of more of an issue with business than talent because they say, okay, we make money off this, right? So let's keep pumping this out because we know we're gonna make some money off of it.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's how I look at it too. It's like, okay, we can reuse assets here, we can reuse assets there.
Oh, that's the whole AAA game. But that's the AAA game with a lot of these third parties. So a lot of these third-party developers would do a lot of copy and paste instead of actually using talent. This is why I appreciate so many indie games. That's like, well, you just said that you needed 400 people to work on this game, but this dude is one dude out of China, and he did this with his game with no budget. But it was his talent.
I know you probably talking about Infinite. What was it called?
It's called Bright Memory.
Infinite. Okay, so
Bright Memory and Lost Soul Aside. I play that at PlayStation Experience.
The thing about Bright Memory Infinite though is when people mention the assets that's in that game, those assets was from an existing thing. Like it's not like he created each asset individually on his own.
No.
He has to go through and replace all of those, like a lot of those assets.
Yeah, but that's the same thing with all these developers is going to do, especially with Unreal and Quixel, is that there's already assets that's there, and they're going to get those assets, drop it into their game, and alter it. But at the end of the day, there has to be some type of talent, because if your 400 damn man company can't still utilize resources out there to do something with the engine that you have, compared to a one-man army that I've seen with so many different indie games, or a two-man army, whatever the case may be, That's why I said talent is so
Well, I just think it's going to be hard to combat that just because of how the industry is currently. Like we talked about before with a lot of the gatekeeping and a lot of the politics that seems to happen and a lot of these gaming, what do I want to say? These companies, like we've just seen with Ubisoft, a bunch of they're about to go through a restructuring phase,
a whole
restructuring phase. And so we got all this sexual assault. We have people who leave because their talent isn't appreciated. They're overworked. Like with what's that one? Like why is Naughty Dog now only known for overworking their people? You know what I mean? Like we shouldn't have shit like that, because then you have people who just be like, all right, I'm done with this shit.
Rockstar has the same.
Rockstar too. Like we have problems in the industry for sure, but what you're talking about, it's gonna be a little while.
I'm saying it's talent only. As far as those other factors, yeah, but as far as why it's not, is because a lot of those things, of course, still exist, but these people are still working.
Oh yeah,
on what they're working with. So they either leaving or they're staying or they're making a voice about something. But these companies is like, I hear all of that. They don't care about none of it. They don't care about their well-being. Unfortunately, they don't care about the consumer. They care about this has to be pushed out at this time because of this, because our shareholders and who's on the board need this done. That's it. So that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not saying like nothing can be revolutionized to change and make things more efficient.
I was just saying it's not just talent alone. Yeah, there's like a lot of other external factors there.
Yeah, there's a lot of internal factors, but the reason why I mentioned talent so much is because when I see the different platforms and what they've pushed out has been off of talent. So yeah, there's so many factors with Naughty Dog. Yeah, there's factors with Rockstar. These are the two like top development companies and gaming alone. Santa Monica Studios. I don't know about Santa Monica Studios on what they do or how their workload is. Bungie. Like we got all these different big development companies. I'm pretty sure there's all kind of different cases of overworking their people to get that end result, and it's wrong. But when I'm talking about talent, I'm not talking about how many hours was put in to do something. I'm talking about the actual architect of someone's brain to figure out something that would have never been figured out. That's what I'm talking about.
I just I feel indifferent about it, because when people compare, when they talk about Halo 5 and stuff, I was like, it's like 343 created Halo 5. People act like that's like an ugly game or it doesn't look up to par. So when people look at
Infinite, it was a beautiful game. It's just the story was trash.
But I completely get that. You know what I mean? I completely get people's like opinion on the story. I'm talking about as far as graphic fidelity and
that game was beautiful. I loved how that.
The same thing goes for Gears. So when you say talent, I'm like, 343 is a talented studio. You know what I mean? Don't let this trailer fool you. They still a talented studio. That's how I look at it. It's like, okay, I know the issues as to what happened there. So I
hope that's gonna
Halo Infinite is not gonna look like Halo 5. So if people want it to look like Halo 5, they're gonna be highly disappointed, because people cried about it not looking like old Halo.
No. Yeah.
So now they brought it back to old Halo.
But that's the one thing I don't. This is what I don't get about that fan. This is what I don't get about Halo's community, and because when I heard about we want things to look like old Halo, is that because we already know the deal when they didn't want a black. Right. Okay. So that was one of the dumbass that was a cry already with that. Okay, that was dumb as hell. Then you have
I wanted to look, right? I just want to be clear. You're talking about Smart Lock. Okay.
Yes. We wanted like the old Halo. So a couple like, okay. Like
instead of you pointing out we don't want a black guy, you said you want old Halo, like make America great again. So now you got Halo. And you're mad about it.
Yeah, and then you're talking about so the way Halo was ran, we wanted. So what do you have to be specific. Right. If you're talking about you want something to look like the old Halo, I don't want it to look graphically like the old Halo. Like, what we doing? What we doing? Because you can still
personally,
have it
yeah, I agree.
because Halo still ran as Halo on Halo 5. It was still a Halo game. Like,
yeah, I agree with you
just
there.
like God of War.
I agree with you there. Like, I really, when I look at Halo Infinite, I look at Halo 5. I definitely prefer Halo 5's graphic fidelity, but I understand the art style of what they're trying to achieve with Halo Infinite. And so
Don't
I
do that.
understand.
Don't do that. No, because people will do that.
I'm
That
just
art.
saying.
People do that art style. Like, this is the thing, and y'all know because y'all are technical with it. There's a difference between art style and you messed up on them polygons. Like there's a difference between this is how I want this to art. For example, Gears has a certain art style to it, and that's how they make as far as how they make their characters look is totally different. They don't want them to have a full realistic human structure to their face. That's an art style.
Well, what I'm telling you is Halo Infinite does have a different art style when compared to Halo 5. It's not so much just graphic fidelity, pixels on screen. We know about that as far as like pop-ins, facial animations not being there, pixels not loading. We get that. I'm talking about art style is definitely a different art style though.
I'm gonna give you a link to a developer that broke down Halo Infinite on how it's not, the fidelity is off. I'm gonna give you a link to an actual developer who's worked on plenty of games that has sat there and said how the actual fidelity of the game is not met.
You just agreed with me. I just said the same exact thing you just said. I said we know about the pixel pop-ins, the graphic fidelity, things like that in that trailer specifically. I agree with you there. I'm talking about, but there it does have a different art style altogether. It looks nothing like Halo 5 did as far as art style itself.
Because I just see a lot of people making excuses saying art style instead of that.
They're taking conversations and taking out highlight points to argue without having the background knowledge, right? Yeah. So like we're saying, we acknowledge the pop-ins. We acknowledge that
we know it's
some of the people rendering are not rendering like they should, but there's still on top of that a different art style. And then them falling back on the art style is them CYA, right? That's them trying to cover their own ass. But they know now, after this last trailer, you better polish that shit up.
It has to get polished. Like if you want to do a different so-called art, it still has to be polished because that's your main game. Like I was like, yo, no, don't tell me this is happening.
It's your number one. It's supposed to be your
No. Gears is my favorite series on Xbox.
I'm talking about like as far as
you're saying
Halo's supposed to be your Halo's supposed to be your Halo's supposed to be the it game. Like it's supposed to be your gem, your crown jewel.
Right. That's just like if Nintendo came out with like a Mario game.
I don't know. You can't say that because Nintendo will hand you. This is the third game.
Yep,
this is the third game. The game is called the third game. And you literally
I was trying to give Nintendo a chance. Okay, this is just like if Sony. Let me go to Sony. A reason why is because people like, oh, right, you with Sony and all this other stuff. So I was like, let me just make all right. So let's go with Sony. That's just like if the risk that Santa Monica Studios was taking with God of War did not fulfill correctly. Mm-hmm. Like they went on a wholly different like thing with God of War that we was not expecting at all with the gameplay, but it still was executed correctly to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like it still was there, fidelity wise, story wise, gameplay wise. There's certain people that's still mad about that God of War because they want the old God of War, and that's fine. Right. You don't have people like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can't say that what they executed, whether if you liked it or not, was not fulfilled on what they wanted to have done executed. So and that's a signature for Sony. Of course, Sony got a whole bunch of other icon signatures that they could work with. But what Microsoft, I'm like, y'all don't got that many. Can you please make sure? And I remember, I think Rollo was saying, people who favor Sony a lot shouldn't be mad at what Microsoft was doing. I'm like, no, if you're a gamer, I'm a gamer. I play everything. It makes no sense on what they did with that.
And see, I feel
But
different because especially like of course my preferred platform is Xbox. I feel like Microsoft shouldn't have to copy what Sony is doing with their single
Right.
player, behind the
no,
shoulder, all
don't.
in the forest kind of games. Like I don't get why they have to copy that style, or why do everything have to be hyper realistic? Like I
No, I
just
don't. It doesn't, and nothing has to be realistic. Nothing has to be photorealistic. I just want them to fulfill. Halo is one of those iconic games.
yes.
So that's all I'm saying is like, let's say somebody's a Sony fanatic, right? Because we know them in the community, and I'm like, okay, whatever. You have delusions of grandeur out of all three of these different groups.
Mhm.
But what I'm saying, out of all three, what I'm saying is, if somebody that is not someone that's delusional, they do prefer Sony, and let's say they do have for example, I have all the platforms, but I prefer Sony. I play mostly on that. I have friends I'll play on my Xbox One X, at whatever the case may be, PC, whatever. But what I'm saying is that no, every freaking one should have their own signature. I know Xbox's signature on that. Of course, the shooting games, so forth. Halo, I've been playing Halo since the first one. What I'm saying is that is your crown jewel. So if that crown jewel is not being taken care of correctly, that stuff can trickle down. Like, that's just gaming, period. And a lot of people don't understand when one of these companies is not doing what they need to do and is not looking in the consumer's like interest with something, that trickles down. It does. I remember when EA and the rest of these companies wanted to put that lock on if you didn't purchase the game yourself, but you bought it you bought it resale wise. Oh, you gotta buy an online token. That shit started to trickle down to Sony, and Sony started to do that with their games. If you didn't buy it all has an effect on it. I don't think Microsoft was doing that, but like, did they? I don't think they did. But like, it still is a trickle effect. But yeah, I just want everybody to, competition is key. It makes all these companies do what they need to do, and we get the profit off of that because we get to see them put their best foot forward.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is perception too, because I can say I love a game. To me, I mean, for me, games are subjective. Like somebody can love like Minecraft. I'm not a huge fan of Minecraft at all. I can't do that.
I
game.
like Minecraft Dungeons is fire though.
Yes,
Minecraft Dungeons is fire.
Yeah, but I can't do Minecraft. So it's like, but people love that game. Like, it's one of the most highest grossing games, period. And it's just not my cup of tea. And so I look at that, and when you talk about games that Microsoft has produced, that people, that especially the loud minority, especially on Twitter, go to bat about, which is the Sea of Thieves, games like that, So
I couldn't.
so
Sorry.
right,
Y'all
you,
put me on.
I
tried.
But you could, I mean, when that game first launched, yeah, it had its own share of issues, and now over time they've been able to, pretty much turn the ship around, all puns. But it's one of those things to where, it appeals to a certain audience. It doesn't appeal to me. It's not the type of game I want to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a
Right. To
grown
be honest,
woman.
I don't really like Halo.
Like,
So-
right. Like, I'm a grown woman. I want to play. I don't want to play Minecraft. Okay, I don't want to play Sea of Thieves. I want to play something. If it blows up and you can snipe it, I'm game. You know what I mean? So that's just how I look at games that I prefer to play. And so when I understand the gripe. I understand the complaints. Like, when you feel like a company's not providing the games that you want to play. So it's like, hey, you got decisions.
But I feel like the options is out there.
Right,
Like, if
exactly.
it's like, you might just be mad at yourself that you can't get both. Then like, I don't get that. Like, if you had both, you would have less of the gripe that we see, right? Because most of the gripe is, I want to justify my purchase because this is the purchase I was able to get. Right? You see the same thing with cars. You see the same thing with, tons of stuff. There's even, Red, because they talk about it in marketing. There's a part of you that has to justify your purchase, right? So some of this, like, is nonsense.
Yeah, and it's not like Microsoft isn't providing those IPs. Like, they provide the Gears of the Gears, AAA, high quality, multiplayer, single player type titles. They provide the Halo, multiplayer, single player type titles, So it's interesting that people have these spectrums. These I want games that what Sony's making, or I want games that.
But the thing is that those people that's asking for those things don't support those games when they come out. So, for example,
somebody was pissed. Did you see us? Did you see the post from last week? Someone was pissed at me because I talked about God of War in relation to the amount of PS4s that are out there. In relation to the amount of PS4s, you would think that God of War would have sold more. I didn't say God of War sold like shit or anything like that, but
it still was a high grossing game.
Yes, it was still a high grossing game, but in relation to the amount of PS4s, you would think that it would have sold more.
Console to game ratio, basically.
Yeah,
that part. Yep.
The console to game ratio. Well, the console to game ratio is still going to be off, because the thing about, and it was the same thing even from last generation when, you know, the install base at that time was mostly 360. But the thing about, we have to understand even with that, and this generation is a lot of people who came from 360 went to go get a PS4,
mm-hmm.
They then went to go get an Xbox One. And also, like I've said this for the longest about Microsoft, is that when you condition your gamers to be just like how you mentioned Halo and Gears, those are their first party titles. When you shut down Fables and everything else that's doing something totally different, when you didn't solidify the Scalebound because of dumbass, and
please, Hammer, please, like, come on with the Scalebound bullshit.
Like,
people want that shit so goddamn bad.
And I'm telling you,
they weren't gonna buy
oh my god, I swear to God, that game was gonna be trash. Y'all was gonna be mad. Y'all was gonna be mad.
The thing
you wouldn't have liked the damn game.
I'll explain why people wouldn't like it. As far as the thing about what the Xbox platform, because people are saying, even like you mentioned the God of War, when Alan Wake came out, Alan Wake was not properly supported. It wasn't properly marketed. It sold way more on PC than it did. During that time, Halo Reach was out. Halo Reach came out. It reminds me of like Columbia Records with Beyonce. Like, y'all gonna pour all y'all resources into that one property when you had some other things that was very, like, Alan Wake was a different type of game. Yes, it's a niche game, but it's something that's offering something different. Then you have other games that has come
I'm gonna stop you there, because like every company does that though. Because if is Sony advertising dreams like it does it's AAA blockbusters? No, every company does that.
But you know how much Sony has to offer to not do that. There's no excuse. So what I'm saying is, if you got 10 exclusives out that's being marketed, and then Dreams slip by, but they was doing all the rest, they have a lot compared to, okay, you only got 4 IPs to pay attention to. Like, that's different.
That's kind of biased, I have to say, because
it's not. That's a ratio. That's a ratio. But that's a ratio. It's just like how I mentioned a ratio. I'm just going off of logic. I'm going off of a ratio. So if that's a ratio that's being done, it's like, okay, for example, Ghost of Tsushima came out. There was a lot of marketing towards that. Yes or no?
Yes.
That's a new IP, right?
Yeah.
I don't feel like there was a lot of marketing toward it, but yeah. Go ahead.
There was a lot of marketing towards Ghost of Tsushima. There was a lot of marketing even for content creators to play Ghost of Tsushima. There was still marketing now that's a new IP. That's a new IP.
But what else do they have right now to market?
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? And this game, like you when you talk about relations, you also have to talk about this game costs how much for them to make. So then they have to put that into marketing as well. Like I'm
trying to get to those points, because The Last of Us 2. This is what I'm trying to say.
But that's a marquee title, though. The Last of Us 2. That's a marquee title.
Yeah, go ahead. Wait.
They're gonna advertise that.
I'm gonna let Red finish. Go ahead.
The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima came out a month apart. Did it not?
Yeah.
Okay. The Last of Us 2 is a bigger name than Ghost of Tsushima, is it not?
Yep.
It has more brand equity than Ghost of Tsushima. It does, because it already had a game past generation. It gained a fan base whatsoever. And just so y'all know, I did not like the first Last of Us like that. I didn't like the gameplay. The story was cool. Did not like the gameplay.
Yeah.
So just not think that somebody's biased or whatever. I'm just kicking facts. So what I'm saying is that The Last of Us 2 had brand equity. Ghost of Tsushima is a new IP. This is Sucker Punch's first time.
But that's a first party studio. They're gonna advertise stuff from that first party studio, and Sucker Punch is brilliant. So why wouldn't they put money behind that studio in the IP?
But did Alan Wake wasn't an exclusive?
Alan Wake, when at the time of release, it was a new IP at the time. It was a brand new.
Yeah,
and the studio was fairly new. And the studio was new. It wasn't a seasoned studio like Sucker Punch. It wasn't a seasoned studio. Let's be real. It was Remedy. They had just did Max Payne. They wasn't known for having these super big blockbuster titles like Sucker Punch. Like
yes,
they earned their stripes. They had to earn their stripes.
Remedy is Max Payne. Max Payne was a blockbuster. What do you mean? Max Payne is a known franchise, and they were seasoned just as much as Sucker Punch was seasoned. But I'm gonna get to my point so I don't lose my track. What I'm trying to say is Remedy was a season as much as Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch has worked on a lot of different games out of their own thing. Remedy sometimes like to do the same shit over and over again. Let's be real. So what I'm saying is that what Sony does with their marketing, because you're saying a first party title, at first Sucker Punch wasn't a first party. So
the thing is, okay, because you're using Ghost of Tsushima as an example, right? As being like, Sony put a lot of money behind this new IP, right? That's the argument. You're saying that Sony put a lot of this money behind this new argument. Behind this new IP because it's Ghost of Tsushima and it's Sucker Punch. That was like their sixth game by that point. You get what I'm saying?
Sixth game of what?
Sucker Punch. They did Infamous. They did the Sly Cooper's games. So they've already had built a
and how
portfolio.
Many? Yeah, but why are you saying
what I'm saying is they earned that. They earned the right to, this is Sony. This studio has earned it. We're gonna put a lot.
And you don't think
this
is
like
Remedy back then they earned that
they
because
had one game.
But do you not know the deal that Remedy had with Microsoft? And that's hard. And that's no.
That's the only point I'm making back then. Back then they had one game. They didn't have 6 titles in AAA studio game already making these big blockbuster titles with high end graphics and all this stuff. They had one game.
Sly Cooper was a high graphical game. Like Sly Cooper wasn't a high graphical game. And I
was more so referring to like Infamous and things like that.
Okay, but even with Infamous was not one of those high profile franchises. It's not. Like as far as Infamous Second Son did well, but as far as all the franchises I'm being real.
It still doesn't hide the fact that Sucker Punch's first party and Remedy never was really like they wasn't like owned by Microsoft. They was only just a second party studio.
Second party, right? Exactly. Right. But Sucker Punch was a second party studio as well. Like they was a second party studio as well. They was not always a first party studio. So that's why I'm trying to see where your point is going, because of the partnership that Remedy had with Microsoft was for them to get that same. That's why Remedy was pissed off with Microsoft for a bit. That's why I always say Remedy and Microsoft reminds me of an abusive relationship, because
I feel like you see that with everybody though, right? I mean, I feel like all these people ring around the rosy with all these software companies.
Microsoft be doing Remedy dirty a lot of times. So that's what I'm saying. With Remedy, and as far as what Delilah is saying, like she was saying, well, isn't that the same thing? And I'm like, no, it's not. What I would have wanted with Remedy, and this is what I didn't understand. I didn't understand also why Microsoft should have had actually purchased Remedy as well.
Man, dude, trust me. That should have been happened.
That should have been happened. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Sucker Punch was not a first party. They were acquired. There was a lot of these. Insomnia was not. I said Insomnia. Insomniac was not a first party title. They was purchased. So that's why they went off and did Sunset Overdrive. Like they was able to be free to do what they wanted to do. They're now a first party title. They were not always. Same with Sucker Punch. As far as Sucker Punch lineage, they did not have high profile games. As far as what Sony was able to provide with marketing, of course, made Sly Cooper iconic. Are they the most iconic cartoony games over at Sony? No, they're not. That is Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter. So what I'm trying to say is Sly Cooper is like in third place. That's all I'm saying. They weren't as high profile as what you're saying, because you're trying to make the point that as if like Remedy did not have high profile games, when Max Payne is one of those iconic franchises.
No, I wasn't saying that Remedy didn't have high profile games. I said they only had maybe 1 or 2 games. They didn't have like 6 games in their portfolio already. That's the point I was trying to make. I didn't say. It may have sounded like that, but that's not what I mean. They've always been a talented studio. I don't want to undermine their talent there, but they only had like 2 titles as opposed to having like 6.
But I know that we have had this, nice conversation about Remedy and whatnot, but we still haven't got through our first topic. I gotta tell y'all, we still haven't got through our first topic. So I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to, keep going. I'm so sorry, y'all. Yeah, I know. I gotta be the maestro. So can we get to I don't think anybody has given their opinion yet on what else they saw.
Really on the state of play. You was talking about state of play.
State of play.
Titles they show.
Yeah, right. We got into it. So let's just kind of try to give a couple of games you guys that you guys saw that stuck out to you.
Red mentioned Hood, Outlaws and Legends. I thought that game did show pretty well on it. I also like what they showed from Godfall, which it's crazy because you see on Twitter like the flack people have been giving Godfall, but I thought it looked decent. I don't think it showed bad at all. So there's those only really 2 that stood out, and Control, of course, I love Control. So
right,
I'm
you get the Alan Wake DLC.
Oh yes, absolutely.
All right. Okay, go ahead, CHAREECE. What stuck out for you at State of Play?
Of course, the Godfall, but I have seen the combat didn't really sell me. I kind of wish I'd never seen it, but I'm probably still going to end up playing it because I like games like that, the looters type things.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was just nothing else really did it for me. But I'll like keep an eye out on stuff. But yeah, so my main thing was watching for Godfall.
All right, what about you, lady?
This one called Eon Must Die.
Oh, I like that. Eon Must Die looks fire.
I'm gonna have to look at that again.
And then what is that one? Hood. Hood. It's the reason why I like Hood is the story aspect. Everybody knows Robin Hood, but they possibly can put layers into that story and lore.
It's about Robin Hood, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's going on for the Robin Hood.
What I didn't like about State of Play was Buzz Snacks. I'm not doing it, man. It's a no for me, dog.
That's for kids. That's for kids.
It's
That's not even for kids. I hate that. I hate when people be like,
it's not for kids.
I just hate when people will say, I don't like that game. It's for kids.
That game looked like it's for a 3-year-old. So, because I don't see even my nephews and stepson playing that game. So that to me is like for a 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be a one hell no for me. The Bug Snack.
One hell no. Okay.
Right. Yeah, I don't see that one game you're talking about, lady. So I'm gonna have to look that one up. I don't know.
The Eon game looks really dope.
It's futuristic platformer, I think. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Go ahead, LBOOGIE.
Yeah, I was just gonna say for me, the one we spoke about before, Pathless, that was pretty cool. Like just the idea. I don't know if I'm gonna play it, but it looked cool. Hood, Outlaws and Legends look good. Control, obviously, even though I haven't gotten as far as Delilah, but I still like the game. I have it. I'll probably get the DLC. My biggest issue with it was like how they just are announcing Beta Immortal for the PSVR. Like I got PSVR first.
Oculus.
Hold on, what game?
Beta Immortal.
Beta Immortal. Star Wars game.
Right. So it's been out for like a year and a half on Oculus. And I just wish, it just seems like PSVR is like, we have it to say we have it, right? Like, if you're gonna have it, I feel like
you don't think it should go on there, or you're saying you don't think the game should go on there. You think
no, it should have came sooner. Like, why did it take so long? Like one of the reasons why I went out ahead and got the Oculus. sorry, go ahead. I didn't hear what you said.
Did they have a year exclusivity deal on that platform?
I don't know. But I know that even with what's the other game that I like? Beat Saber.
Yeah.
Like it takes forever to get any updates on songs and stuff like that on PSVR. So like I got the Quest because I still want to get my VR, on. And I don't know. Like I love the Quest because it's all in one. There's no wires. No extra camera that you got to get. Everything's,
Quest.
yeah, together in one.
Until
And I just wish that they
That's a
would
good question.
put more effort there in the PSVR if you're gonna have it. It's just, to me, if you want to be VR, do put more effort into
Support
it.
Support it if you're gonna have it.
Right. That was my only qualm.
that goes for anybody though, to be honest.
Right. Like even if Xbox came out with VR, like don't come out with it if it's gonna be an
That's
afterthought.
That's
Right. So, but that was it for me. Let's keep moving because we've been talking for almost 2 hours.
You lying?
No,
People like it though.
I know
People
it
like it,
don't
though.
feel like it, but it's there. Time is passing. All right, so one of the things that I was disappointed about, but the writing was on the wall, is xCloud will not be coming to iOS, and pour one out.
That Android, sis.
No,
Oh
no,
man,
No.
I'm tripping.
no.
Come over to that
Might as well, you might as
Android.
well.
Pour it out.
You know you can convert your stuff over, right? You know you can convert your iTunes.
I
all
don't
that.
need
You can convert it
to.
over.
No, I don't
I
think
can
so.
help you.
I don't
Let me help
think
you.
so. I don't think so. I don't
I
think
got
I will
you.
so.
buy
Smart
myself a
switch.
little tablet, and that'll be it. Okay.
Smart
I
switch.
don't want to play on the little ass screen anyway.
What? No, she did.
What?
Oh my god.
I know she lying. She
Yeah.
said what?
So
She
I'll
did-
get my
go ahead.
Samsung Tab and be
Oh man.
all gravy. All right.
So
But
you better get that
Apple
kickstand.
needs to cut it out. Apple needs to cut it out.
Apple
We
don't
already
support
know that
nothing.
the
They don't
biggest
got
issue is that
Stadia.
Apple wants to have. Sorry, I know I'm
They don't
talking
have-
over you.
No, I was just saying they don't even have Stadia. They said no to that. They said
Right.
no.
All garbage.
Because they have their own gaming things. They want to put their own shit on, and this is Apple 101. But I think that they came a long way when what's his face was in charge. I know I can't remember his name right now. I can never remember people.
I'm bad with that too.
I know when he was in charge, when he died, it went back to the old regime of we're Apple, fuck everybody else. We don't play with nobody. But I think that they would make more money if their platform was more open, right?
They don't even care.
Nah, they don't care. But so pour one out for Apple and iOS. I don't know if y'all have something to say about it, but
I mean, they.
man.
I don't
they-
appreciate it. I don't appreciate it at all. But it's alright though. Y'all gonna make me buy me this cheap ass tablet and then put Xbox Game Pass app on it so I can play these.
Is it
games.
gonna run right? Is it gonna be compatible?
I won't. Only one way to find out, right?
I
don't
think you have
think-
to have at least operating system 6 or 7, and maybe even 8 on it for it to work
Oh, no,
right.
You might want to work with. Yeah, you might.
You might want to, you might want to
wanna
get
make-
a
Make sure you
good
got
tablet.
Oreo. Make sure you got
Yeah.
Oreo at least.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I do that.
Don't get that China joint that's saying something else, feng shui or
I'm
whatever.
not trying to get that Wish tablet. You trip. No Wish tablets over here. No Wish tablets over here. No ma'am. No ma'am.
But I feel sorry about that for, of course, the iOS users that are interested in any of those things. It's just not cool. Especially because I don't have Apple. Is Apple Games living up to?
No. I ain't playing no game on Apple Store.
I was trying to ask the question without laughing, but is Apple Games?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Look,
No.
I don't have no Apple phone for Apple games. Okay,
Not
just
sure
like
don't.
I'm sure you don't have your Android for Google Plus or Google
Well, I
Play.
mean, I'm free to, I'm free to get whatever I want. That's
You
all.
can't get it with iOS, so
I
that's what
mean,
I'm saying.
I don't
Like,
want it. That's
But Red,
Okay.
you play
Okay.
Google Plus games? Google Store games?
I got my little Call of Duty on
oh,
there.
whatever. Everybody got a Call of Duty. Come on. Are you playing shit on Google Play?
Nah, but I sure was playing that
That's
xCloud
it.
that you
She
can't
said
play.
I
That's
heard
what I'm
no, and that
saying.
was it, right?
That's
I
what I'm
heard no,
saying.
and
Like,
that's
why
it.
wouldn't they play nice? Because that means more
I
people are
even
going to
did
be on this.
PlayStation Remote Play even before it came to because with Android, when it was just locked to Sony phones, I just got the APK and was playing Remote Play on PlayStation through there. So that's what I love about Android. I could just go past whatever the hell I want to go past.
Now we can't go into the
iOS.
iOS Android debate. Here we go.
Y'all cut it out. Your phone is not better.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Excuse me.
That's
As
why
grown
you
women,
gotta
we're not gonna have no
buy
Apple planner up in here. No Apple
Right?
planner up in here. None.
Says who? I'm grown women gaming too. Come on.
Man, we split down the middle though.
I'm not. We gonna leave that for something else.
I'm crazy. No, on some serious things, I
Wait,
think
yeah.
on a serious note, I think the reason why they blocking it is because they don't want the xCloud to compete with them trash ass games they got on Apple Arcade.
And I think that they want a piece, right? Like just how Netflix got rid of Marvel shows and whatnot. Like they're tired of paying, Marvel to then have to still, develop those shows. So I think the same thing is happening with this. Is that Microsoft is like, we're not paying you this amount just to have this app on your, device. So I think that was the biggest issue.
And is it possible, like money? Like, look. If you had xCloud on Apple, nobody ain't gonna buy no games at the Apple Arcade, and Apple's gonna be looking like, we ain't got no money in the Apple in the arcade, and they're gonna look at that xCloud. That's the most obvious answer because, and no, I'm not disrespecting Android, but when I had Android, I wasn't even playing the games on there. So this is an opportunity for Microsoft to be like, hey. There's some trash games here, but we got the xCloud. But with Apple, they not trying to like fuck up their little money with the arcade. But I ain't seen nobody. That's my thing. I didn't see anybody be like, yo, this Apple phone game is fire. I have not heard of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know what they gonna do, but they gonna force Apple people to like buy some from Android just to get the xCloud. And I ain't got no problem with that.
Right.
Just like you said, don't get that wish tab.
I ain't getting that wish. I'm gonna get like Samsung or like some.
I was gonna say tablets are pretty cheap now though. Like you can get a tablet for a good price.
I think it's like $250 for like the Tab 10.
Yeah, the Tab 10A.
Yeah.
Who said they paid $250 for a tablet?
See? That's the lowest one, sis. The Tab A.
The Tab A? Oh,
it's like 98 though, right? For the cheapest one, like
it's like 98.
You can get the 2019 joint.
Yeah,
that's
it.
What are you talking about? I just saw on Amazon that it was like.
Sis, I got you with a discount. Okay.
Oh,
got you with a discount.
Let's go. They got tablets everywhere. Got tablets.
Nah, like
I
used to work with Samsung. I got you a little. What you call it?
Like, no, we'll just send everybody tablets then. Shit.
No, I ain't talking about shit. Say nothing. I said a discount, a family discount. You're talking about sitting a whole damn tablet.
A whole ass tablet. Shit.
like I'm an executive or something.
Hell yeah, girl.
I ain't even working with them no more. You talking about right? Damn.
Whatever you can do, that's fine. I appreciate it.
Hey, but you can't even say you work at the library. Well, let me
I'm gonna need some free books.
Let me hold some.
Y'all got some new movies, right?
Oh my God. Why y'all talking about my life like that?
I'm sorry.
All right. So on to the next one. I don't know if you guys saw, but it looks like Splinter Cell and what is this one? What's the other one I want to say? The one we were waiting for Beyond Good and Evil, right? So both these two are supposed to be getting movies and series.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to talk about is, what do you think this means for a series, right? Because like people have been waiting on another Splinter Cell game. It doesn't look like that's happening. Facts. Beyond Good and Evil was shown 2 years ago, and I don't know if that's still happening, but does the series or movie signal no more games?
The thing is, I don't know. I think Splinter Cell could be fine. I worry about Beyond Good and Evil because I feel like it's still a hard sell. Some people don't even know what the IP is or even played that game. So, I mean, I see if they're just trying to do something brand new, introducing people to characters, etc., just to kind of
Exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
I think it'll help. I think it'll help reboost a fan base again if that's the whole strategy. Just like Delilah said, I see that working more with Beyond Good and Evil versus Splinter Cell. Like people already we're like, yo, what's up? Y'all keep showing him on damn Brawlhalla and
everything.
freaking Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and like we get it. We know who he is. It's okay. You don't have to reintroduce him to us. Like this is why I say Microsoft, it'll be dope for them to step in and get another exclusive or time exclusive, whatever the case may be, to get him over there again. But people are just waiting for it. It's like, yo, are y'all wilding? Like, we get it. So we don't need a show. Like, give us a game. Beyond Good and Evil may need a show because, like you mentioned, a lot of people didn't really play that game. So.
All right, so just let everybody know this next topic is going to be our last topic for today. We didn't get through everything, but we had a good time. So, and wanted to answer what
I said. That's all that matters, though. We had a good time.
Yeah, and then we're only going to answer a few questions this week, just because time. We try not to make the show last too long. No 3-hour show here.
Or next day show.
Right.
Right, or next day. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we didn't continue it tomorrow either. So just because we didn't make our topics doesn't mean we're continuing
Somebody
tomorrow.
had they did a show and then they was like, we'll continue tomorrow. They literally continued the next day.
Yo, you lying. No,
I'm not. I'm really not.
But I wanted to make sure we hit on this topic because it's near and dear to me, but it looks like Twitch will be investing in HBCUs with esport leagues and really just trying to open up more pathways for people to get into the gaming industry via marketing, content creation, esports for historically Black colleges and universities.
Yes.
So did you guys take a look at this? I actually didn't know about this community here, the nonprofit organization. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it.
Yeah. What's the organization?
The name is community, but the O is an X.
Oh yeah. I know about them. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with them at all. So, do you have any information on them or?
So they tried to, of course, implement as far as on a collegiate level, and also with getting more Blacks in esports and so forth. And especially with them teaming up with the historical Black colleges. I myself is working on a project too, working with a historical Black college that's going to foster more esports and gaming into their curriculum. Mm-hmm. So I think it's great that Twitch is getting involved because, of course, they've been getting a lot of backlash on not enough representation. They recently signed a deal with I believe is it Rhode Island or I forgot what school. They Tiger's gonna get me because he says I forget things all the time. They did sign with a school. I don't know if it was in New Haven, but anyway, they signed with a school, and that school, of course, has different ethnicities, but you see predominantly more white. So it's great that I see that, and that's what Twitch did with that school. But it's great seeing a focus on historical Black colleges. Because there's tons of HBCUs as far as the push for supporting HBCUs, even as we see from on a sports level, we see a lot of athletes that top in the country are signing with HBCUs instead of going with bigger universities. So I love that whole movement, and it's great because a lot of times people from from where we come from, let's say if there's a neighborhood that's at a disadvantage economically, or whatever, it's hard for a lot of us to get our kids into esports because they don't have PCs. Right. Most of the highest the top grossing games in esports are all PC driven.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't understand that a lot of people you see on TV and that work with certain companies that are on, most of the reason why they were able to get into the position that they're into is simply because they had the money to get to the conventions, to the release parties and things like that. So there's that barrier entry that a lot of Black and brown people don't have. They don't have money to fly to LA to go to E3 or to PAX or to whatever other conventions. Right. Yeah. I mean, most of the reason why I went to all those E3s is because I was there. Yeah, right?
You live. Yeah, that's right.
You like down the street.
Right.
30
like
minutes
I
away.
just hop on the freeway. There,
It'll cost easy like $2,500 to go to E3 every year.
Right.
So it's, I mean,
and that's like Georgia, that's like conservative.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So when these people tell you anybody can make it, there's still yeah. So that's why these type of things are very, very, very important. And please believe that even the smallest of things that you can do are helpful to people.
Yes. Yeah, so I love that it's being introduced. Even some kids that thought that, it's like you mentioned, that can be very like I don't want to do this because you think about the cost, excuse me, of everything.
Right.
And it could be very discerning, like, okay, I don't have enough money. I don't think I want to get into this. My mother's already down my throat, or pause, my father's already, saying certain things like, this is not such and such, go and do this. So when you have something that's a curriculum, especially in our community, that's saying, hey, you could be a lawyer in the gaming industry. I know a lawyer, that's a good friend of mine, that he's a Black gentleman and he's a lawyer in the gaming and entertainment industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways to still be in gaming besides just picking up the controller, but actually facilitating to make things still stay afloat in gaming. You have doctors now, that's being sports doctors, but they're esports doctors. So now they're studying how
occupational health and whatnot, using that.
Yes, like
most
studying.
people don't even know what occupational health is.
Yeah, and to bring that to esports,
right?
So I think it's a beautiful thing. I can't wait to see that all the HBCUs have a program. And we'll get to see more of us, and we'll get to see that representation. We'll get to see that push as well.
That statistic was incredible. I was just reading the article, and it was just like 83% of Black teenagers play video games, but the overwhelming majority of video game creators are 68% of European and Caucasian descent. I mean, that's jarring. We talk about it on this show all the time, like how we represent like less than 30% of the industry. It's staggering.
Right, even with women,
Oh yeah, women
I know we
might as well just
put out this statistic too.
That
like most people, they're like, oh, there aren't a lot of women that play video games. We make up 48% of the industry,
right?
And yet we're represented like 11% or something like that. Like, and that's just women as a whole. It's not just Black women, Yeah. So it's crazy. So I love this. I hope that we keep having things like this. I want to see Microsoft do more things like this. I definitely want to see Sony do more things like this. I want to see Ubisoft, all these companies invest in your communities.
I see Microsoft with the push, especially with their the Black initiative. I know they got some backlash off of the name.
Like that.
Right.
Yeah, they got some backlash, but I definitely want to see Sony. I have yet to see Sony actually make a push or anything in that. Yeah. And I want to see Nintendo for sure. Like, these Japanese companies, I want to see the push in it. Am I expecting them? No, but I want to see, I want to see that done, or anybody that's a part of that. I love what Ubisoft was doing as well too, as far as the initiative.
Go to that? The Black Game Mixer Pro?
Yeah,
yeah, I went to that last E3.
No. They had a digital one.
Last Friday.
The digital one I didn't get to. The digital one I didn't get to. Did they go through with that?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there for like the first 30 minutes, and I had a couple meetings I had to check out, and I had to bounce. But I tried to listen to it because it was from 9 a.m. to noon, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I was able to
forgot
like listen
about
from like
that.
9 to 9:30. Then I was able to jump back in like around 11 or so and get like close to like the QA and stuff. So I missed a good chunk of it. But from what I heard this beginning, like it was a lot of great conversation. A lot of people shared their thoughts on like how to break into the industry, what they did, like who they're in contact with, and things like that. It was really, really informative.
That's dope. But yeah, I want to see that more around the industry, and of course, if we don't see these companies doing it, we need to do it. You know,
Oh
so
yeah, facts.
let's do that, John.
Like if there's no table, build one, basically.
Exactly. Build that seat, build that table.
All right, so we're pretty much at the end of our show. CHAREECE, do you have a couple of the questions we can answer? Just a couple.
Just a couple. I have 2 that were super early.
Okay, let's take those.
Let's see. From Others Inc., of course, is one. Question. Why did Sony State of Play you get a pass? Why were there some magnifying glasses used on Halo Infinite, not used on the awful looking Godfall? With
Okay, other thing. I think we talked about this like an hour ago. An hour ago.
Yeah.
You got to replay that back. You gonna have to replay that
All right.
back.
Let's take another question.
I mean, I have my concerns.
Maybe he came to know it. I do too, but I'm trying to, y'all, don't kill my joy on that game. Please don't kill my joy on that
I'm
game,
looking
y'all.
forward to it, but I mentioned it even when I was streaming. I was like, it was like, I don't know if y'all noticed it, but let me know. On certain scenes on Godfall, so okay, when it's more of a blue tint, that scene, the frames are down. But when it's the scene
I noticed that.
Sun,
it's supposed to be underwater. That's supposed to be an underwater scene, and it is not. It's not looking good.
They underwater.
It's see.
I don't know why I feel like that game's gonna come out great, man. I don't know.
I'm excited for it because it's a looter game. I'm gonna be optimistic for the game. I'm hyped for the game. But like I said, I do keep it. I'm gonna be concerned where I need to be concerned at. I was like, wait a minute, why in the blue scenes? I didn't know they underwater, sis?
It's underwater. It's supposed to be underwater.
Wow,
That's
okay.
the,
I mean,
I didn't know that. I didn't
yeah, see again, I'm like, y'all don't kill my joy. Y'all know how I am.
I'm still excited for it. I just didn't know that. I think they need to be more clear on certain things, or there's to be some bubbles or something. Shit, I didn't see
the way when you go back and rewatch it, in the bottom left corner, there's supposed to be a flag waving or in the water, and it's stiff as hell. Like it's so horrible. Like okay, moving on.
Okay, y'all killing my joy on this game, right? Oh my god.
No, I'm good. I'm still good. I just got questions.
I got a lot of questions.
Word.
Okay. And this okay. You know what? I'm not gonna ask that one because lady, you got any questions?
Man, look. Okay, I got one real quick. Question. Jazzy Noob, what's up? What games do you want to see next from Xbox in terms of games? Obviously, a graphic update for Halo for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I
want to see gameplay of Fable.
I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as recent, I'm like, I'm cool. I'm backlogging it till next gen. To be honest with you, Ghost of I only got like a few like the only other game that I think I'm not gonna get that's gonna be is Cyberpunk, but that's smart delivery. So, but I'm not. I'm getting back. I'm gonna catch up on these games that I paid for and then finish. And no, I'm not playing Resident Evil 4.
What?
Zeltrick.
Come on, lady, you gotta finish that.
Nah, for what?
Look here. If I can kill bugs and Grounded, you can handle those bugs in Resident Evil.
You know what? I low-key don't want to play Grounded because of the bugs.
I was gonna say, have you played Grounded yet?
I played a little bit. That spider got me, and it was under my back. The spider was right on top of my backpack. I'm like, damn.
So now you're not gonna play Grounded no more?
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna take off the spiders though, maybe.
I'm gonna try again.
When I log in, when I log in today on my house, I'm sending y'all some pictures because I'm sure.
No, y'all supposed to come help me build my shit up today.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know that
Okay.
was
All
a
right,
thing.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
they got like this fucking
My
like
day is
whole
playing for me
metropolis
already.
going on.
Jeez.
You should see their shit. They got a whole metropolis going on.
So
All right. Okay. Let me get one more question. I'm gonna get one more question.
I want to answer this one though. I really want to.
Oh, go ahead.
this one.
Answer it.
I want to see more. I was so disappointed when they didn't show more of Hellblade. So I really want
Yeah,
to see
me too.
Hellblade too. So.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I figured that they're waiting for their August one, but yeah, I wanted to see more for sure.
Tired of waiting. Sorry.
Right?
Tired of waiting.
No, I'm impatient as
That's
hell.
why I was saying if E3 would have went on this shit, it
Dude,
would have
you
been
already
great.
know.
We've been
Already
saying the
know.
same shit.
Already know.
People were like, "Oh no, I like because I'm able to cover everything." Like, nah,
Right,
like
they talking about their own personal benefit, and they're talking about the way the benefits it gives the whole industry. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, so,
There would have been no wait. Y'all all got to
right. Like, we would have already heard everything about everything.
yes,
We probably would have got a price out of both of these motherfuckers, and we would have just been waiting to put our money down, and that's
Yeah,
it.
you already know. It's almost September. Ain't no price drops nowhere.
Right.
All right. All right. I got one more. Zeldrick, I'm gonna get your question. Real question. He said real question.
Real rap.
If Microsoft was going to have a new exclusive IP, what kind of game would you want it to be?
I'm so biased in my response for this.
RPG. I'm always gonna play
I want an
RPG.
RPG, a story-driven game. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, there really aren't a lot of
All the games are story driven. Majority.
nah, without the shooting, something hack and
right
slash,
without
something
shooting,
different,
yeah,
without shooting.
like an
Like-
old school
like
RPG.
Avowed, like
Which that one that they're
Hey.
coming out with looks like it might be like that. That's coming from Obsidian,
Which one?
right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. That just meant that one.
Yeah, that looks super interesting.
I want to see this Everwild gameplay.
Yeah,
Yeah, like what is that? Like that's the only thing that's got me kind of course I gotta play dumb, but yeah. Can't wait to see more of that game.
How you gonna tell on yourself?
right. Yeah. I gotta play dumb. It's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, y'all remember what I said last week. I still stand by that.
Right.
All
Too
right. I guess.
confident.
Okay.
Way too confident. y'all.
RPGs. I mean,
Yeah, RPG would be dope. Without
Alright.
shooting.
you talking
So
about
now
Skyrim?
she don't like the
I
shooting
want
at all.
BioWare to come
No
back to
shooting, hashtag no
BioWare and
shooting.
actually make me an RPG game.
Yo,
I
make a
need-
new Jade Empire.
I need
Oh
Obsidian
my
to do.
god, girl.
You got.
Jade Empire, yes. Man,
There it is.
come on.
Okay, before we leave, I got a question. For
Okay.
Red.
Okay.
I need to know how you feel about the new Sony controllers and blowing into that shit.
Okay, so this how as far as the whole blowing, wow. So
Don't worry. I'll tweet it. I'll tweet you the picture. I'll tweet you the picture.
You wild.
As far as the technology that's in the controller is very intuitive and interesting, and how I got to learn more about that is when Hip Hop Gamer, I think this was like 2 E3s back when he y'all know at E3 those booths that's way in the
Right.
back
Yeah,
that nobody
cut.
care about. Those are the booths to go to in the cut. So he it was this company called the Capto Glove, and basically you can feel the heat, you can feel when it goes cold. There was like tension on certain things. So I'm interested in seeing how developers are going to implement those different things in that controller. My concern though is the price.
Right.
What's going to be the price of that controller? Because that same technology, as far as the thermal feedback, you know
Right.
how of course you had the haptic feedback, but the thermal feedback, that's why them damn Joy-Cons is expensive.
Yeah.
But only one game utilized that. So that's what I want to see. I have been hearing more like recently. Arcane Games had a developer update, and they say they're going to have that in Deathloop. They're going to utilize
Yeah, so-
the DualSense controller. So I was happy to hear that. So my main thing is developers actually utilizing the technology, because that whole blowing situation thing, that was actually on the Vita as well. Like
Mhm.
Oh wow.
but Tearaway game had that. So that was actually on the Vita, where you was able to blow the leaves and stuff like that, and utilize even the back panel on the Vita had technology that was not utilized as well. Like the Vita has some dope technology on there. So that's my main thing. The controller has some dope technology. It's just the developers have to support that. So I've been hearing, I think, at least 5 developers talking about that they're going to utilize the DualSense technology, especially I think Dirt is going to utilize it. I'm really curious on playing Dirt.
Yeah, you racing,
Right.
blowing
yeah.
kisses.
Not
Oh,
blowing
no,
the
it's the
kisses.
triggers. I think it's the
Not the
impulse
triggers. Not
yeah.
blowing. Y'all stuff on the damn blowing.
That's hilarious. It's just funny to see it.
What
But
y'all been doing?
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that.
right?
Is all taken care. Okay. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about as far as what the triggers are going to do with that thermal and haptic feedback. As far because I always hear, oh, other controllers got haptic feedback. Like I'm talking about the actual tension. Like of course it feels like you're driving in mud.
Right.
Like that's what I was saying. But either the best game to test that on is going to be that new Dirt game. A lot of the developers from Drive Club, as I seen like Hip Hop and I was looking at the game, we was like, yo, this looked kind of like Drive Club with the graphics and the weather with it. So to see that on a game like Dirt, because if it's raining mud and how that's actually going to play a part with the DualSense, that would be interesting. So that's what I'm excited about, is seeing how games are going to utilize that.
Yeah, because I was highly disappointed when they said that basically your DualShock 4s aren't going to be working with the PS5, because like I bought the Astro C40, which was like $300.
You have a reason to be upset.
Yeah.
Everybody else has no reason.
Everybody got their little regular 69.
That's always been like the PS3 controller did not work on the PS4. Like that's nothing new. Now, as far as you, because like I said, you have a reason to be upset, and people who have fighting sticks have a reason, because you have to switch out the whole mechanism.
Are so expensive. Oh my god.
And they're expensive. So I understand that, but I'm pretty sure like what they had before, there'll be one little company that booth that's way in the back at E3 that's going to have some type of converter. But yeah, as far as like purchasing a $200 controller that's not going to work on the next gen, I would be upset as well too with that. But the other controller, if y'all don't sit your asses down talking about a freaking $50 to $65 controller that is not going to work, then you don't need to invest in the next gen. You just wait.
Yeah, and the system comes with one, right? Like so.
Yeah. So I didn't understand that.
The system and you get the controllers. Chill.
Yeah, I understand the C40 and the modded type controllers that's $200 and fighting sticks. I understand that demographic, but if you're a regular ass user talking about why the controllers never worked on the next system. It's like, what are you talking about?
I mean, I do feel like it's a new time, and people are heavily. This generation has been long, right? It's been. I mean, I can't remember exactly when it started. I think it was like 2010 or something like that. Just 2010. So it's been like 10 years. So people have accumulated controllers, and so yeah, I mean, I understand why Microsoft decided to support them back compatible controllers. But at the same time, I feel like you're right. It's something that always occurs with a new generation. So, and also, if I see if the system didn't come with a controller at all, you had to buy it separately. Then that would, to me, would be a bigger problem.
That would have been.
I would have been mad at Microsoft if I just bought this, Elite 2 and
it didn't work. Oh my god. Oh yeah, problems. Okay, problems. Yeah.
No, they have an advantage because they made their own proprietary. You know what I'm saying? So that's smart. As far as on Sony's behalf, they had a whole bunch of third-party people that's making peripherals for that type of stuff. So they need to make their own. Scuff, Astro, some other little company. So that's where the dilemma comes in at. Same with fighting sticks.
Now, if the console come out and they be like, yeah, it doesn't come with a controller, then man, it's a whole nother argument. You got a problem.
That's anti-consumer because people throw away that damn. That's anti-consumer. You gonna make a system but don't have it come with a goddamn controller?
Remember back in the day,
I mean,
a game, right? Like always, system was coming with Then all of a sudden, they're like,
I wouldn't put it. I mean, I just wouldn't count it
I
out because, like,
wouldn't
man, hey, companies
I
they do
wouldn't be
everything they can to make money.
get the price down, you know.
hmm
I would not be surprised. They be like, "Yeah, we cutting the price down."
Like,
That's
Right.
what didn't Nintendo do that? They didn't throw in the power
yes,
cord?
oh my
They didn't give
god,
you the cord.
they
the
didn't give
charge
you the
cord.
charge cord. Yeah, like
That's messed up, bro.
yes, like that's
But
what that's
everybody was like, "It's all right. I'm still buying it."
right.
See?
It's Nintendo.
I remember
The
people was like,
perception is
"Well, you
different.
can have it. You can have it." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" All right.
Yep, I
Well,
got that right here with no damn what you call it.
Okay.
all right. Well,
Longest show ever, so we gotta wrap.
longest show ever.
Yay!
Greatly
Yeah.
appreciate you. We hope you come on again. We like having these discussions.
Yeah, 'cause we
Obviously,
don't have too many PlayStation people in here, so it's awesome to have that extra push.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we all prefer Xbox. I know personally, I prefer Xbox. I know
There's
Sharice.
nothing wrong with that because
Yeah.
we get
we
to
all
have
have
this
everything, though.
conversation.
Yeah, but
And
we
all
play
own-
everything.
and we
though.
all own, we all play everything, and we
Mhm.
all own everything. So, you know what I'm saying? It's great to hear y'all point of views and where y'all coming from because that's y'all passion, and that's beautiful.
Well, you welcome here anytime. You can always come back. We appreciate everybody who took the time out to come listen to us today.
Yeah, thank you.
And we're gonna start with outros, and we'll have our illustrious guests go
I
ahead.
like
and
that title.
Oh, I stole it. But,
that
all right.
Who stole it from? Let me. who said that?
Jesus and Pharaoh. All of their guests are illustrious guests.
Yeah, we also took the top 5 games too from ILP, so we take some.
Right.
Just saying.
Hey.
Ideas.
We don't borrow. We just reinvent them. We
Right.
make
I
them
had
better.
I had that. But yeah, it was wonderful. It was great to actually speak games with y'all, debate games with y'all. For everybody that's out there, if you are new, you better hit that subscribe button. My sisters we pushing to 1,000 because right now we sitting at almost 800. We need that 1,000. Okay, we need that 1,000. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. I'm about to say the like, whatever the hell.
I'm gonna help you out. Subscribe.
Thumbs up, the like
Subscribe.
button, subscribe.
Hit the subscribe, hit the likes, all of that. Share it. Make sure you share it on your different platforms. Share it on your different Discords. You don't get to see a lot of podcasts and platforms where it's all Black women, Black owned, and Black women perspectives. So
Ooh, I like that black owned. Ooh, yeah.
So you crazy.
You know. And yeah, as far as all Black women, so that is a beautiful thing to see. They're very knowledgeable, period, across the board. So I really appreciate y'all dearly. I love y'all for sure. Y'all already know I'm here to support y'all and whatever. And yeah, I had a great time.
All right. Well, we can keep going with Miss Delilah. We'll go with Delilah.
Yes. So you all know you can follow me on Twitter, Delilah_HD. And thank you, Red, for joining us today. Enjoy having you on. Of course, you're welcome here. And I'll catch you all next week. Peace.
All right, Miss Sharice.
All right, it's your girl Charisse. First of all, thank you, Red, for coming through. It has been awesome. This conversation has been very interesting. I like it. This has been a good day, good show. So thank you for coming. Like Lady said, you are more than welcome to come back. But yeah, again, it's your girl Charisse here. Thank y'all for coming to our show. Hope y'all have a good weekend. Make sure to wash your hands. Wear your mask if you're going out in public. You know,
Wash ass too.
What she said.
Wash
Right.
ass.
What she said. But yes, we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
All right, lady.
Thank you, Red, for coming through. Really appreciate it. Thank you to my lovely ass panel, the bestest, and the chat being great as you guys always are. You know, you can check me out at Lady_Infamous 415 on Twitch. We're gonna do Ghost of Tsushima and Mario Kart next week. You can check me at my side piece, aka Twitter, Lady_Infamous 30, where I act reckless sometimes late night. But thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate the love.
Yes.
All right, and it's me, LBOOGIE0208. Same name everywhere. Make sure y'all come follow us on Twitch. You come chat it up with us on Twitter. And again, as everyone has said, thank you for the support. We love everybody. And y'all have a beautiful Saturday after them.
Hashtag no side piece.
Right?
Show. I love the vibes. Ladies, if you